Anyone who believes in indefinite growth on a physically finite planet is either mad or an economist.
We don't want to focus politics on a notion that involves the rejection of principles around which a large majority of our fellow citizens organize their lives.
We are not as endlessly manipulable and as predictable as you would think.
Please think about the furniture in your own sitting room. I'm pretty sure the chairs are arranged so you can watch the television. The day that you decide to arrange the furniture in another way is the day when I will get really worried. My father was a vicar's son. My dad hated the way that the news had an almost religious hold on us. After all, the news summoned us at fixed points of the day to be present at a particular place, looking in silence in a particular direction, with one channel even starting its 10 p.m. ceremony with the tolling of a very loud bell. Alain de Botton suggests that this quasi-religious aspect of news in the 21st century has a very specific consequence. It means that we, the public, must treat it deferentially and comply with its rituals without question or hesitation. Sounding a little bit like George Orwell, he says, and I quote, "The distinctive priorities of the news are crafting a new planet in our minds." I'm going to try to explain why de Botton has simply got it wrong, and why non-stop news services like Sky are part of the reason he's got it wrong. Far from shaping people's views, we are simply giving them the most accurate information, impartially, so that they can shape their own views. To do that properly in the 21st century, people want the most accurate information and up-to-date information, but they also want it on their terms. And that is best delivered by a 24-hour news organisation that is available live and on demand in many different guises. At about the same time de Botton was publishing his book, the BBC's former director of global news, Richard Sambrook, with his ex-head of strategy, Sean Maguire, wrote a full frontal attack on 24-hour news channels. I'm delighted to say that they are here this evening. They argue that in the digital age of instant on-demand news delivered via the internet, specialist rolling news channels have had their day. But you've got it, with great respect, completely wrong. Their argument is simply too narrow and out of date. It considers an old world where it's possible to pigeonhole organisations and what they do. News organisations can no longer be categorised so easily. Sky News is not just a rolling news channel, just as The Guardian or The Times is not only a newspaper. Sky News is live and on demand 24/7. The ability to offer live coverage is a critical part of our service. You can call it a channel or a live stream. It is both the backbone and the beating heart of a non-stop news service. In today's world, customers demand to know what is happening as soon as possible, and it enables us to be distinct from our rivals. But we are so much more. We're also an on-demand service on multiple platforms, providing text, graphic, audio and video wherever people want it. We're a service which allows our audience to consume news when they want it, how they want it, and where they want it. The pessimists who look backwards to some mythical golden age of journalism are mistaken. The golden age is now, and even more so in the future. The constant technological revolution has made this a better time to be a journalist than ever before. The range of technology available for gathering news, especially video news, continues to grow at breathtaking pace. Means that we have more tools at our disposal than ever, not just to report events as they happen, but but to analyse them, explain them, and put them in context. The growth of technology has also opened previously undreamed frontiers in the way news is distributed and delivered. Smartphones, tablets, connected devices, and the rest means that all news is now available non-stop, live, and on demand. The key to exploiting these multiple opportunities remains being a 24-hour service with the live stream at its core. There is now a veritable array of start-up online providers like BuzzFeed and Now This News. One of the most striking techniques employed by their new type of journalism is the listicle. It's something which combines being both a list and an article. Here is a listicle of 6 Ryley reasons to be positive about the future of news and to be positive about the future of Sky News. I will give them in reverse order. Reason number 6, why the future of journalism is positive. The world market for news is actually expanding dramatically. And you don't have to take my word for it. One of America's most prominent futurologists is Mark Andreessen, the founder of Netscape. He believes we have drastically underestimated the scale of the smartphone revolution. He says that now more people have access to phones than have access to running water. That means the global addressable market for news will grow to 5 billion by 2020. He says that market size equals destiny, and I'm certain he's right. Reason for optimism number 5, why the future of journalism is positive. Journalism remains the most effective way of holding institutions to account. I don't just mean in the sense of the very big sensational exposés like the MP's expenses scandal a few years back, or the scale of state surveillance by American intelligence. I mean it in the way, day in, day out, professional journalists chip away at the public relations shields which the establishment erects around itself by asking awkward questions and unpicking the facts. When Alex Crawford was covering the Arab Spring in 2011, everywhere she went, she heard the same thing, that foreign journalists are often the only people who can credibly bear witness to what is really happening in repressive regimes with state-controlled media. My point is simply this. While journalism prospers,